everyone. In this video I'd love to share with you my encounter with an angel in Paris. So if you guys remember, I went on holiday with my mom in August. So on our way to Nice, we flew in by air with my dog as well. But coming back, we had pre-arranged to come back on by Eurotunnel and by a taxi. So we were going to take a train. And so the day that we came back to UK, we had a train to connect from Paris. So we traveled from Nice on a train to Paris, and then from Paris we had missed the connecting train because the itinerary on our ticket was sold to us wrongly. So the itinerary says that we should have 1.5 hours, plenty of time to get from one train station to the other train station, and even plenty of time to just settle in. But in reality, actually, while we were still traveling, we were already missing our connecting train. So it was a completely wrong itinerary that was sold to us. So anyway, so of course there was a what's that word? High stress and anxiety and concern. But actually, I resolved it as soon as we arrived in Paris, and we already knew that we had missed that train. We had missed it. I said to the Lord, I literally said to him, I said, Lord, I don't know how you're going to do this, you know. I said, I don't know how you're going to do it, you know. I literally said that. I remember saying that to him. So anyway, so while we're on the underground trying to find our way, there was this man that came to help us. And so we started to talk to him, but he said he didn't speak English, obviously. He spoke French, and he was an African, can I say French African, African French? Yeah. So I think he was African. He was a black man, average height, and he spoke French. So anyway, he was a French man, but I think he was of African descent. So anyway, he said he didn't speak English. You know, he made us show him our itinerary. So we showed it to him, and so he started to help us. Bear in mind that a lot of people have been helping us here and there, connecting from one train station to another train station. But anyway, this is just a long story short. So now we have this man helping us, and he literally took it upon himself to take us upstairs to where the connecting train was going to leave the platform from. And so as he was walking with my mom, they were walking in front of me. I looked at him, and I just said to myself, I thought, this guy is an angel. I don't know why. I just looked at him, and I said, actually what I said was, I said to myself, he's not human. That's what I said. And then I said to myself, he's an angel. So I started to look at his hands. I don't know why. I started to look at his hands as if his hands were supposed to give me some sort of clue. But anyway, and as he carried on walking with my mom in front of me, I was more and more convinced that he's an angel. Now I need to backtrack a little bit, okay? On our journey from Nice to Paris, my mom was singing a song, and the song she was singing was da da dee da 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 da. You know that song? And he goes, I must be talking to an... Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm sorry. Oh, gosh. Goodness. So, I'm sorry. So, the song, you know, I must be talking to an angel. I must be talking to an angel. Da da dee da 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 da. So anyway, I was like sitting there. I'm so sorry. Oh God, I'm really sorry, guys. Okay, so I sat there and I said to myself, I said, why is she singing that song? My mom doesn't sing that kind of song, you know. I'm pretty sure she's not a fan of the lady who sang that song. I was thinking, why is she singing that song? You know, it was so random. I was like, why is she singing that song? So anyway, so here we are, a few hours later in Paris, and I'm looking at this man and I'm thinking, this guy is not human. He's an angel. And so when there was one time we were going through the barriers, and you know, the ticket barriers, and the way he was taking charge and telling us what to do and directing us, guys, seriously, I looked at this, I was observing this guy, and I said to myself, this guy is not human, he's an angel. Because he was reminding me of the people, of the angels in the Bible, and the people in the Bible, how they interact with the angels, and how the angels always seem to be, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but the angels always seem to be militant in their interaction with humans. They always seem to, they behave as if they're they are on an assignment. If you check the scriptures, they always deal with us as if they're here on a mission. They need it, you know, they've got a task to do and they just need to get that task done, or they've got an assignment and they need to get that assignment done. That's what he reminded me of. His behavior, his mannerism, his attitude, everything just seemed so so militant, you know. I don't even know what that word, I hope that's not a negative word, you know, because I keep using that word, but that's what that's what he was like. So anyway, so now when we got to the platform that was supposed to take us to the train, it was now a different train, obviously, because we had missed the one that was in our ticket, that was on our ticket. So we spoke to the ticket officers and we were trying to explain, and they said, they looked at our ticket, oh, you've missed your train. Yes, we know, but blah blah blah. So he asked there was a supervisor looking, sort of somebody who looked like a supervisor, standing not too far away from the tickets attendants. There was quite a few of them. And so he said something to him, and then the supervisor guy said, yes, they you know, opened the barrier and let them through. And of course they made a joke. They said, let them through, but not this one. In other words, they were saying, let my mom through, but not me. And, you know, we all laughed, and my mom said, no, you know, my daughter, I need my daughter needs, so everybody laughed, you know. So anyway, and then he told us, he gave us a really good seat. He told us where to you know, go when you go on this carriage, you know, to turn this way and sit on this seat and blah blah. It was really lovely. So anyway, so we went and sat down and settled in. And by this time, I was completely convinced that this guy was an angel. And then oh yes, and then my mom hugged him. Sorry, when they told us we could go through, my mom was so happy. She hugged the man, the person that I'm convinced is an angel, and we all said thank you to him. But my mom really gave him a hug, you know, and then we went through the gate and then went and settled in. Now, when we were settling in, I looked out through the window and I saw him. I saw the same person that had helped us. And I saw him and he was waving. And so I waved. I said, thank you. And I waved like that. And then the train left, you know. But so my mom sat down at that point and she hadn't realized that I was waving at the man who just helped us, that I think was an angel. And so I said to my mom, you know, when she settled in, I said to my mom, you know, that person wasn't a human being, right? And she goes, he wasn't, right? I said, no, he was an angel. She goes, really? You think so? I said, yeah, Mom. I said, he was an angel. And I said to her, I said to my mom, the other thing is, I said, angels open doors, you know, their presence, an angelic presence comes with favor, or it comes with open doors or something like that. I said his presence there just made it, they let us through without any issue. They just looked at our ticket, saw that we missed our train and just said, okay, you go on this one. You know, there was no conversation, there was no explanation, nothing like that or anything. And then I said to my mom, I said, Mom, come to think of it, I said, what? Why did he come back to wave at us? She said, what? He came. I said, yeah, he came back. He came through the. I said, who does that? You know, once you've helped someone, you're on your way. You don't go through the barrier to wave at them. But that's what he did. So what? Did he ask the attendants to let him through the barrier so that he could wave at us? No, I don't think so. Why would he ask them, do you mind letting me through the barrier so I can go to the carriage, in front of the carriage, and wave at them? No. So I was like, and I told my mom that, and my mom was like, oh my goodness. I said, yeah, I said he's an angel. And then I said to my mom, and come to think of it, why were you singing that song? She goes, what song? I said, you were singing da da dee da 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 da, must be talking to an angel. She said, oh yeah, I was singing. And I said, that's what the lyrics, that's what it was saying. As I said, the lyrics says, I must be talking to an angel. Says, my mom's like, oh my goodness. Now I need to go back again, one step again, okay? Now the morning that we woke up, that morning that when we woke up for that journey, our alarm went off an hour too early. As a matter of fact, we hadn't set the hotel alarm at all. So it went off on its own. I didn't set the alarm. My mom didn't set the alarm. And the alarm went off at 5 o'clock in the morning. My mom woke up. She goes, did you set this alarm? I was like, no. Did you? I'm like, no, I wouldn't dare. I don't like alarms waking me up. I prefer to wake up naturally. And by the grace of God, usually when I ask him, usually when I say this is when I would love to wake up, I'm able to wake up at that time, thankfully, you know. So I try my best not to rely on alarms, unless, of course, it's very, like, you don't want to miss your, you know, and then, yeah, of course, you have to set your alarm. So anyway, but even so, I set the alarm and then I wake up way before the alarm generally, because I just don't like alarms waking me up. So anyway, I'm telling you this to say that basically, because the alarm woke us up, we woke up an hour too early. My mom went into the bathroom to get ready and I decided to pray. So I got on my knees and I just started to pray. I thought, well, I might as well pray, you know. So I think I spent 1 hour praying in the spirit. So I just want to give you that bit of background and then come back to my story. So here we are inside the train, now discussing discussing the reality that this person could possibly be an angel. By this time, I myself was completely convinced. I don't know, my spirit just bore witness that this person is not a human being, he was an angel. And so by this time I was quite sure, especially him coming through the gate and waving. Seriously, who does that, you know? And so when we got to Calais, We had booked a hotel. We were going to spend the night in Calais, and then the next morning our taxi was going to pick us up and drive us to United Kingdom. So so when we got to Calais that night, in the middle of the night, because I shared the bed with my mom, in the middle of the night, I heard someone laughing, like, right? And I woke. I'm a very light sleeper. I sleep very light. So so I heard someone laughing. So I woke up, and it was my mom, and she was like laughing, smiling, like a gentle sort of laugh. You know, it was a very gentle laugh, like like, you know, like sleepy laugh. It was like that. And so I said to myself, "Oh, maybe she's having a dream, or she just had a dream." And just while I was saying that, she laughed again a second time, but this time after laughing, she said, "That man was an angel." So I said, "Mom, are you awake?" And she goes, "Yeah, that man was an angel." I said, "Really? What happened?" She said she just saw him in her dream. Oh my God. I just feel funny even right now. I feel really funny right now talking about this. She said she just had a dream. She just saw him, and he had a phone, and he was taking photos of he went round the premises, the hotel. He was going scouting the place and taking photos of everywhere. I said, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah." And then she said to him, "Can I, when you finish taking the photos, can I have some of them?" And he looked at her like, "Why would I give you the photos?" Like, no, as in like, they're not for you. I'm not taking the photos for you. And anyway, and what else did my mom say? She said it was just a look in his face, like, "Why would I give you the photos?" And he said, "No, they're not. I'm not taking the photos for you." What, you know? And then I think he said, I can't remember what he said, and I don't want to add to something. I don't want to say something that's not correct, so I can't quite remember what next he said. However, I said, my understanding of that was, I was saying to my mom, I was thinking to myself and saying to my mom, I said, "Mom," I said, "Mommy, he's because he's oh my gosh, those photos are for his orders. It's taking them upstairs, up in heaven. You know, he's answerable to the Lord. You know, like when you're on an assignment and you're taking the evidence or photo, or you're monitoring the location, or you're observing the location, or you're keeping watch, sort of thing, and then you're gathering the what do you call it, the raw footage, yeah, but you're taking them to the kingdom, to heaven, to the library in heaven, or wherever it goes, it gets stored. I don't know, but guys, that guy was an angel. Oh my goodness, for real. So so that was an amazing thing. And then when I came back, when we got back to England, this was on another day altogether. One day in a dream, I saw that same angel, but I didn't see his face 100% like I saw in the natural, but I discerned that it was the same person. It was the same angel. And while in the dream, I recognized him as the same angel that helped us while we were in Paris. In the dream, I could recognize him as the same angel. I said, "Oh, it was you who helped us," you know. So yeah, so that's the end of my story. It's the very first time I have had an angelic encounter in the natural that I'm aware of. You know, I might have had an angelic encounter, but not aware of it. You know, there's a scripture that says in Hebrews chapter 13 verse 2, it says, "Do not forget to entertain strangers, for by so doing, some have unwittingly entertained angels, you know. So, and you know, it's just amazing that the Lord did that, you know, because if you remember, I had said to the Lord, I said to him, I said, I don't, I was so, it was such an impossible situation, and I was so resolved in trying my best not to stress, that I said to the Lord, I said to him, I don't know how you're going to do this. I don't know how you're going to do it, you know. I literally said that in my heart. I said to him, I said, Lord, I don't know how you're going to do this. You know, that was the only prayer I prayed. I said, I don't know how you're going to do it. And he sent an angel, you know, and that's how he did it. he's amazing. Oh my goodness. He's like, don't worry, I know how I'm going to do it. He sent an angel. And so how I want to, oh my goodness, my whole point of wanting to share this video with you is because I marvel at how God will send an angel just to ensure that two ladies catch their train, you know. It almost makes me want to, touches my heart, you know. You know, the things that God will do for you and I is just immeasurable. It's unsearchable. You don't know the extent, you know. Why would God send an angelic being all the way from another dimension, another realm, all the way in heaven, where the living God, the creator of the whole world, where he dwells? Why would he send an angel to come down to earth to help two ladies to catch a train back to UK? You know, but he did, you know. And I love that about the Lord. I marvel about that sort of thing with the Lord, you know, that his wealth is unsearchable, his mercies are unsearchable, his resources are unsearchable, you know. God doesn't have a conversation where he says things like, oh no, it's not worth me doing this, or oh no, it's going to cost this amount, so we can't do it. His resources are completely unsearchable, immeasurable, you know. And the other thing I also want to say before finishing this video as well, and I know it's a long video, you know. So the other thing is as well, is the fact that I have spent an hour praying in the morning. I really feel that really spoke to me, and I want to tell you that. I want to share that with you. The fact that I had spent 1 hour praying before our journey, and I was praying in the Spirit, makes me feel that prayer is so important, you know. It's so necessary, you know, for the kingdom of God to advance in our lives, you know. And sometimes when I have obstacles and I come against situations, I remember that day with that angel and prayer. And I suppose the reason why I remember it is because there are other instances of having supernatural experiences, all happening during a time of prayer and worship. Okay, so like for example, the very first time I heard the audible voice of God, I had spent quite a while worshiping the Lord. I had spent a series of a few days, you know, in just worshiping, in worship, and then I had an encounter with God, and I heard the audible voice of the living God, you know. And then another time when I heard the Lord, the audible voice of the Lord as well, was I had been praying fervently about a particular situation, and then the Lord spoke to me audibly, you know, about that situation. And yeah, so I feel that when we engage in the things that the Bible tells us to engage in, pray without ceasing, in all things give thanks, and then somewhere else it says that we should sing psalms and worship and sing praises unto the Lord, to constantly be singing and be giving thanks to the Lord, you know, and to be singing praises to him. And then in the book of Revelation, of course, it talks about how there's this singing and worshiping the Lord, for he is worthy, you know. So yeah, so those are the things I really would love to, I would love for you and I to take away in this angelic story. And of course, let's not forget to also take away the fact that it's so wonderful that God would send an angel even just to get somebody to connect their train from one train to another. You know, just, it doesn't matter how simple it is or how the situation is, God is well able, you know. If it means, if it means that he needs to send an angel, he will send an angel. He will do whatever it needs to be done to deal with that situation. So yeah, so I hope this encourages you, and I'll see you guys in another video. I know it's a long video, so please bear with me on that, okay? But there's no other way else to share it. I'm just sharing it as if I'm sitting with you in a cafe and I'm just relaxed. I'm just sharing with you as I see it, you know. All right, everyone, have a good evening, and I'll see you in another video. Bye. God bless. Bye-bye.